Well, Game Boy, good morning, by the way. How you doing? Good to see you. So here's the deal with Subnautica 2. All right, Subnautica 2 came out last week. It's a Game Pass game. And when it came out, people were asking me, would I play it? And I said, no. And everyone was like, well, why? It's a new game. It's a Game Pass game. Why would you skip it? And my explanation was as matter of fact as possible. Because I played Subnautica 1. Okay, I know what the game is. They're not going to reinvent the wheel here. There's going to probably be the same game with some newer elements and maybe some new graphics or whatever, but it's going to end up being the same style of game, right? When I played Subnautica 1, it worked for a few streams, and here's why. At the time, it was the beginning of the time when I was transitioning from a on-demand gamer, meaning I sit here and play games and I ignore the stream chat as if you guys aren't even here, and I just do like on-demand commentary, just blabbing over the game nonstop. But instead of doing that, I was transitioning into being an interactive streamer, meaning I was actually going to start interacting with the audience. I was going to talk with all of you all the time. We were going to have conversation during gameplay. And therefore, I started doing a series called the Late Night Chill Streams, where we would try to find games that were more laid back and where we could interact a ton. Notably, if you just kind of explain to me, hey, this is how the game works. Here's how the elements work, right? Then we could talk, hang out, and make it a interactive session rather than it just be about me playing the game. All right? Subnautica worked for 3 or 4 streams like that. Okay? We learned the gameplay loop of the game. We explored. We actually went into the crashed ship. That was fun. We got some good story elements and stuff unlocked there. Then we continued and went to like this deep underwater area. We got the ability to go deeper with more oxygen and stuff like that. And I think it was like a hand submarine that goes faster and everything, and it ran on power, but it lets you go faster and have more oxygen supply. So then we went to the deep areas. We saw these giant fish that was trying to eat us and kill us. We got more elements and the like. So I don't remember exactly how long we played. In fact, I think I could probably answer that right now. So let's look. If I go to Subnautica, here it is, Subnautica Chill Gameplay. Okay. I called it Chill Gameplay. And this was from 2019. So it was a very, very long time ago. All right. We basically played it for like 7 streams. And then here's what happened. Okay. To be honest, it just got boring. You might say, well, why did it get boring? Because Subnautica at its core is a game where you're going to constantly be exploring and then gathering resources, and then exploring, and then gathering resources, and then exploring, and then gathering resources. And it could be fun for a while, but after a while, you're eventually going to kind of seen everything that the game has to offer, at least that's different or meaningful. You know, I went to a few islands, I saw alien technology, and the whole idea is that eventually you gain enough elements or resources to go and repair the alien technology, and then you can basically summon a spaceship and you can leave this planet that you're stranded on. That's supposed to be the game, right? But what happened was, after we got to a certain point, it just got too repetitive. You know, for like 2 entire streams, so 4 hours of gameplay, I was simply gathering resources to make this thing called the prawn suit, which is an underwater, like, deep diving suit, okay? And I'm like, oh, it's going to be so exciting when I get it, right? Well, we get it, and guess what? All you're supposed to do now is grind further so that you can get more pieces of the suit, so you can grind further, so then you can add more pieces to the suit, and then eventually you can get more elements. I'm serious. Like, that's how the game is built. It's just an endless loop of you have to keep getting more elements. To the point where it's like, all right, I've seen enough, and I kind of get what the game is. I'd rather move on and play other games with you guys than just do this same loop over and over. Now, the game can end up being very relaxing, and I can understand why someone could get addicted to the loop. But as a streamer, I was trying to entertain the audience, and it wasn't entertaining anymore. Like, damn, we've already seen this for 10 hours. You're still doing it? Yeah, it never ends, basically. That's the game. So we said enough is enough. That's fine. 14 hours of gameplay of Subnautica is good. And we moved on and did other late-night chill streams, and that was it. Okay? So, when Subnautica 2 finally is announced, oh, it's coming out, and people said, well, are you going to play it? I'm like, no. Well, why not? Well, because it's going to be Subnautica 1 again. I know it is. I mean, let's be honest. They're not going to innovate. They're not going to change the whole game's formula. It's going to be a survival grind fest. And that's okay. I'm not saying that that's a bad game in any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying is I've already played it. I tried it. It didn't work. We played it for 14 hours. It got boring, right? So, I wasn't playing it. And then over the last week, there's a group of people who kept coming to the stream saying, I can't believe you skipped Subnautica. Everyone's playing it. It's got millions of copies sold. Hundreds of thousands of people are playing it at once, right? Despite the fact that I'm trying to say to everyone, listen, I'm not the same as everybody else. The kind of content I put out is a little different. My audience is a little different. I've already tried it. People just keep asking for it regardless. All they want to do is they want to get, they buy into hype is what it is. Oh, well, it's popular. Just because something's popular doesn't mean it's going to work for me. Okay? I kind of know what works on my streams and what doesn't, although I do like trying variety, and I'm not always right. But in general, this is something we had already tried. You know what I mean? So, after being bugged about it for a week straight, finally I said, all right, since you guys keep asking for it, let's go ahead and at least, let's try it, okay? So, we did last night, okay? We played Subnautica 2 for about 2 hours. So guess what Subnautica 2 is? It's Subnautica. Yeah, you land on a abandoned or seemingly abandoned water planet. You immediately start diving and grabbing elements. You start crafting things. You start setting up survival where you can have food and water and you can have more oxygen. You fight off fish that are trying to attack you. You start finding upgrades. You start scanning items in the environment so that you can reproduce them at your replicator back at your base. You start trying to build your base. It's exactly the same as the first game. I want to repeat what I just said. You ready? Subnautica 2 is literally Subnautica 1. Okay? It's the same game. Now, what are the differences? The graphics have been improved, and the story is different. Okay? But the actual gameplay loop is exactly identical. They don't even try to hide it. Like, I was ignoring all the tutorials because I had played Subnautica 1, and I said, I'm just going to play it like Subnautica 1. I did it perfectly fine. In fact, I was turboing through. Oh, I already got my multi-tool, already got the scanner, already got this, already got that. And I'm not even listening or talking to the robot that's trying to guide you through. I'm just doing it because I've already played the first game, so I already know all of this. So, all that being said, did it go well on the stream? No. Guess what happened? Within the first half hour, everyone was bored. The kick side of stuff just sat there complaining this game is boring. No shit. I already know because I already played the first one, okay? On the YouTube side, it was 50-50 split. Half the people were there who liked the game and were like, oh, it's good to see you give it a try. And the other half were just kind of completely disengaged. And what I mean by that is, if something in the game isn't that interesting to the audience, they will basically ignore the game and just go on and do something else or talk about another topic or just not talk at all. You know, the only way I'm ever going to make a game like Subnautica work is if people come and want to hang out on the stream. They come in with chat, they tag me in chat, and they start talking about various topics or whatever. That didn't happen last night. Instead of it being, oh, let's chat and hang out with Phil, it became, let's completely disengage from what's going on. That never works for a stream. For the record, doesn't matter if you're playing a challenging game, a chill game, or any style of game. If your audience disengages, then it's a failure of a stream. Do you understand? So, basically, after playing this for about 30 minutes, I already realized this is going to be a dead stream. Like, no one came ready for Subnautica 2. Everyone just came expecting some hot new game. It's not a hot new game. It's literally Subnautica 1 again, because they weren't going to reinvent the wheel, which is what I knew to begin with. Okay? That's why I didn't play it for the week that I didn't play it. So basically, it ended up being a dead stream. And what I mean by that is, yeah, there were a few people who chatted with me and helped me and stuff. But for the most part, it was just me playing the game for myself. No one was really engaging at all. And sadly, the stream was a failure. You know, insanely low support, very slow talk, like just a waste of a stream. And it was frustrating because, you know, I had known that was going to happen. But people sometimes just don't want to listen and they get caught up in too much hype. And that's exactly what it is with Subnautica 2. Listen, I understand that the game apparently has hundreds of thousands of players at any given moment. I get that it sold like 2 million copies. But it's still Subnautica 1. It's not going to change, okay, at all. You understand? It's never going to change. I don't know why people think it would. Or what did you think the game was going to be? Completely different? No. They're just going to do what they know how to do. a second time. And that's exactly what the game is, okay? So if you like that, if this sounds good to you, if you're someone who enjoys this gameplay loop of grinding for elements, exploring, survival, resource management, expanding a base, getting more lore in a story, it's fine. It's a good game. I think you'll like it. Notably, if you didn't play Subnautica 1, you might like Subnautica 2 better because it feels more fresh. Very similar to this is the situation from last week where Forza Horizon 6 came out, right? And I said, I'm not going to play it. And everyone yelled at me, play it. Well, I played it for one stream, and guess what? It's exactly the same as Forza Horizon 5. It's the same game. No kidding. These companies now have gotten into a habit that all they do is pump out the same game over and over because they know that there is a audience that likes that formula and will keep repurchasing the game. Okay, Forza Horizon, definitely that audience. Subnautica 2, if you like Subnautica 1, it's for you. And that's fine. Understand, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to entertain an audience. I'm not just here playing a game for myself. This is not my chill time where I unwind from a stressful day. I'm doing this to try to entertain you guys. Does that make sense? I can only do so much, and if people aren't into what the game is or the gameplay loop, I can't make you like that genre of game. Notably, I don't think that in general my audience likes this genre of game. They find it boring. So, you know, it is what it is. On the flip side of that, a game like Pokémon, right? A tried and true game with tons of history, all kinds of different elements that people can help me training, you know, learning how to make a well-balanced team, how to understand the elements, help me know where to find items, find rare Pokemon and all that. People like that level of interactivity. So with Pokemon, it works. With Subnautica, it doesn't. Okay? And that's okay. Again, I'm not saying Subnautica sucks. It doesn't. I actually liked Subnautica 1. I was having fun last night with Subnautica 2. The audience was not. Okay? Okay. I hope that makes sense, everybody. And I hope you understand where I'm coming from. You know, this is exactly why I did not want to play the game to begin with. I knew it wasn't going to work. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trust my gut a lot more these days rather than listen to the masses who are screaming at me. If I have already tried something, I know it ain't going to work. I don't think I'm going to, you know, bother with giving it a shot if I kind of already know how it's going to go. Now, at the same time, I want you to understand, it's not that I'm never going to listen to requests and I'm never going to listen to criticism or suggestions. But this was a distinct case where I already kind of knew it was going to happen, and it really was a wasted night. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I feel like if we had played any other game last night, it would have been a better time, and it would have done better. Okay? So, sorry about that. And, you know, now we're going to move on for the rest of the week doing a variety of content that you guys want, that you guys already, we've tried and it's working and people are enjoying. We're going to focus on that. Okay? Okay. But what I got to ask is that you guys got to trust me. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to trust me that I kind of know what I'm doing. And if I've tried stuff, I know what I'm doing. And if I've already played the first game, I know that second game how it's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not dumb, and I do learn from experience. I don't want history to repeat itself. And in this case, I was avoiding having history repeat itself, but you guys kept asking for it, and that's why history has repeated itself. All right? So I guess I'll be a little bit more skeptical as well, because I do feel like certain people do it just because they know that maybe it wouldn't work. Like, I think there's people who knew that Subnautica 2 was exactly the same as the first game, and that it wasn't going to work for the modern audience, but, you know, what can I do? You can't always weed those people out and figure out who's well-intentioned and who's not. Because for every Subnautica 2 situation, there's situations where you guys ask me to play a game and I'm not so sure, and then I play it and I love it. Like RimWorld, I never would have played that on my own. I never would have believed that it would have worked, and it worked for how many months, right? It was a really good series of videos and gameplay, so I do have to listen, and I'm not going to just shut everybody out, okay? I just want you to know that. Okay, what's up, Chris? How you doing? So, let's do some shout-outs. And then we have some news stories